Knock knock everybody, Derick Van Ness here, investor, wealth strategist, life adventurer, and I've got a doozy for you today. Today we're going to talk about why you might actually want to pay more in taxes and how that could be beneficial. I know, right? You can't believe it. I can't believe it either, but it's got to be talked about it. Nobody talks about this. Your CPA is getting it wrong. Your financial advisor is getting it wrong. Everybody's getting it wrong, and I'm tired of it. I want this for you, and at the end of this video, you're totally going to understand why it makes so much sense for you to consider, it's on a case-by-case basis, possibly paying more taxes this year and next year and in the very near future, and why that makes sense. Now, I just have to say this. If you're enjoying the videos we're doing, please hit that like button, smash the like button if that's something you're into, pop the bell, let us know, and if you do that, drop a comment down below and just say, hey, I'm a new subscriber. We'll welcome you to the family. I want you to know I'm a real person. I answer as many comments as I can, and I'd love to answer your questions and help you get the answers that you want, okay? So here's the deal. Everybody's trying to defer taxes, right? Your IRA, your 401k, your SEP, anything you can do to not pay taxes this year, you're doing. And I get it. And your CPA just pats himself on the back and says, hey, max out your 401k, put all your money away in your SEP, and this year you'll pay way less taxes, and that makes me a really smart guy. Here's the deal. And if you haven't heard this before, you need to listen up. I promise this is a game changer. There is a massive difference between tax deferral and tax savings. So what do I mean? Tax deferral, which is what you're doing with your qualified plans, your 401k, your IRA, and so on and so forth, is just putting off taxes. So you're going to pay the taxes either way. It's just you're paying them now, you're paying them in the future, probably after age 59 and a half, because if you try and get to that money before then, there's a penalty, so you definitely don't want to do that. Once the money goes in there, it's trapped. You can't touch it till retirement, right? I mean, you can, it's just there's a cost to it. So everybody's like, defer taxes, write off, deferrals, right? Here's the problem with all of that. You're going to pay those taxes, like I said, with a deferral. Now, so it didn't save you any tax dollars. You're just paying them later. Here's the problem with that. Do you think taxes are going up or going down, right? If you've watched any of my videos, anytime, if you've been on my tax masterclass in our Business Owner Success Lab in Facebook, any of that kind of stuff, you know that I firmly believe that if taxes go anywhere, they're going up. And let's be honest, in the recent election, Biden was talking about, we have to raise taxes, we're gonna do that on the wealthy. So that's great. If you're in that $400,000 plus range, he might raise your taxes. Here's the good news, there are strategies. I've got them on other videos, or you can reach out to us to talk about, if you're over $400,000, what can you be doing to save taxes? But, and that's tax savings, not deferral. Today, what I wanna talk about is tax rates right now versus where they're going to be in the future and what makes sense. So here's the deal. Especially if you're young and early in your career, this might be the cheapest tax time you've ever had in your life, right? I'm not a CPA, I don't give tax advice, I don't have a crystal ball, I can't tell you for sure what's gonna happen, but here's the deal. We all know that Social Security is broken, has got to be funded. We know that we're moving towards a more universal healthcare type of coverage. And listen, healthcare has been through the ceiling. The government's going to have to step in and probably fix some of that. We've gone through at least one stimulus plan and probably at least one more. I think they're knocking on the door of that. So our national deficit has gone way up just this year because of the pandemic and everything, and that's fine. But all that money has to get paid back. You don't just get to print the money and then not pay it back. You don't get to borrow the money and not have to pay it back. Guess where all the payments are coming from? They're coming from taxes, right? If you look that since taxes started back in, I think it was 1913, tax rates have gone way up, and they were up really high through the Great Depression, World War I, World War II, and then they kind of came down in the 80s, and then they've kind of been, then they went back up, and then we're kind of at a historically low, not the lowest we've ever been, but really close to the lowest we've ever been tax-wise. Even if Biden doesn't change anything, the Trump tax rewrite from 2017 that basically said that taxes would start going up in the next couple of years anyway. So no matter where you look at it, where you come from, I believe taxes are going to be higher in the future. So why pay taxes on an unknown, more than likely higher rate in the future, rather than paying them now? Now, I have a lot of reasons I think that people should not tie their money up in 401ks and IRAs, because having access to that as a business owner makes you able to withstand difficult times, take advantage of opportunities. There's a ton of that. But just taking all that out of the equation, I truly believe that if you pay your taxes in the future, you're going to pay a lot more in tax. So why not pay the taxes today when we're sure they're low? In fact, for a lot of people this year, 2020, your income's probably even lower than it normally is. And if that's the case, paying taxes today will be an even lower rate. If you're a young person in your 20s or 30s and you're not making nearly as much money as you will be in your 50s and 60s, chances are real good you're in the lowest tax bracket you're ever going to be, even over retirement. So you may want to take those now. If you do really well in your life and you're successful, and I hope you are, and if you follow the things that we teach, we'll help you to be that, but you're going to probably be in a higher tax bracket because you're earning a lot more money later on in life. So why put off taxes to when they're going to be higher? Instead, let's consider paying more tax now so that we can accelerate our results forward and not have to worry about paying those taxes later when we're in a higher tax bracket. I'm not saying you should do this, but for most of my people, and especially if you're a business owner, pay the taxes, get it done, take your money and use it to grow your business so you can have that higher income later, but you already paid the taxes at a really low rate today. So I want you to consider accelerating those taxes, paying taxes when you know for sure that they're lower, rather than hoping somewhere in the future, against all probability, that taxes will be lower, because I think a ton of people are going to be burned. I think there's a huge time bomb in retirement for most people. They don't understand how it works. They're setting themselves up to have to pay taxes when they're going to be in a much higher tax bracket, and that's going to be a real problem for you. So, especially if you're a young person, this is something you need to consider. If you're in your middle age, prime earning years, you're going to be retiring, 20 years from now, you still need to consider this. If you're at retirement and you're getting really, really close, you want to start planning for potentially paying now so that 5 or 10 years from now, if taxes are higher, you're not crushed in retirement on those higher tax rates. There's a lot of planning that goes into this stuff. It's just that nobody's talking about this. Everybody's pretending like they're saving you taxes when they're deferring them. If you want true tax savings, you've got to use different strategies than 401ks, IRAs, and all of that. We have a team that teaches that. There's a ton of other people who teach it. Use the right language. Tax savings, not tax deferral. Anyway, my name is Derick Van Ness. If you want to know more about tax tips, here's a great video you can watch on something called the Augusta Rule and how you can save taxes every single year if you own your own home. And that's something that'll put money in your pocket today. Anyway, check that out. If you like this video, be sure to smash that like button or hit it or whatever you're into. Hit the bell, let us know you're a subscriber. We'll welcome you to the family, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.